Hi and welcome back. Yes, it's been a while. Life, it happens. But today we're going to talk about the law of attraction. So before you disappear, just stay with me and trust me, it's going to be an interesting take on it. Okay, so the law of attraction. All heard about it. We know about it. If you're alive, there's a possibility that you've tried it. For some it worked, for others it didn't. So we're going to talk about what it is, why it works for some, and why it doesn't work for others. Okay, so let's think about this, right? The law of attraction. It's about starts with a dream, right? An idea of who we want to be in the future, right? So we sit back, we think, okay, I want to be successful in my job. We can start there. Or I want a degree. Or I want a new car. I want a big house. So we can go anywhere. We can, you know, if you had a catalog of the world, like the Secret, the movie says, have a catalog of the world, and we have our dream and our pocket of dreams that we want to come true, right? But now we have this dream, but there are certain variables that we need to talk about and why these variables are important. So, in the show, if you watch it, or the movie The Secret, you'll see they talk about taking action and things like that. These are important steps. Why taking action? Okay, well now we can get to our quantum field. I'm not a physicist, so I cannot understand it from their full perspective, but I can talk about what I've read and what I do understand about it. I understand that a particle will follow the path of least resistance. What does that mean for our lives? So, if you're in your current state, the life that you're living right now, you have certain paths that you have set up for yourselves. So, if you go to work, you set up your path at work. You go in, you do your job, you go home. There's a certain variable, right? Work plus job. Yeah, wait, wait. Work, which is the job, sorry. Work plus consistency equals pay, right? That's your variable. You get paid your salary. Your salary is a fixed variable and it goes up maybe every year. So that's current. In your current state, the reason why you would want more is because you're feeling like you're not able to live. It's more about survival currently, and you'd like to have a life where you get to live. So the law of attraction is extremely attractive to you right now, and for good reason. You shouldn't have to feel bad about wanting more or bad about wanting to live instead of survive. But how do we make this happen? We've got to look at the formula, and this is where the quantum field comes in. So, setting up the path of least resistance. How do we do that? Well, if we want a new job, let's say you're on the market, you're looking for a better job, you can do one of two things. You can wing it, update your CV, put it out there, and wing it and hold thumbs and hope someone takes the bait. But we know that that won't work because other people are putting in a lot more effort. So we can't just wing it the whole time. The chances of it succeeding is lower. And every time it doesn't succeed, it does something to the brain and it puts you in a place of inferiority where you believe you're not good enough, you can't accomplish, because if you were good enough, you would have got the job. That's not true. It's an illusion that we create for ourselves. And each time we do this illusion and each time we don't succeed, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until we believe we are not good enough, until it becomes the core of who we are. What do we do? Now, firstly, we have to change the belief in yourself. Now, I've got ways to do that with my clients, but I'm not going to go into it because that is a very long process and it's not easy. But we're going to go back to the variables. The quick the quick solution, or not quick solution, the quick, what's the word? The thing you can do, okay, is change the variables. Change the formula. If you want that job, what do I need to get that job? What are their requirements? Even if I don't have it right now, I can set myself up for the next one. So I'm going to change the variables. If I need to study, fine, I will register for that course and I will study. Doesn't matter how long it takes, I'm going to do it. Now you're changing the variables. Now you are making the path of least resistance. You're setting up your life for success. Okay, now you got that degree. What else do we need? Okay, it looks like they need a certain personality. It doesn't look like it's mine. Can I learn to become more like that? Is there a course or self-help thing that can help me become more charismatic? What can I do? Well, I have a fear of crowds. What can I do about that? Okay, I can take up an acting course that will help you overcome the crowds. Okay, not ready for that. Okay, well, I can do a YouTube channel. Okay, okay, I can do that. So we look for things that set you up. A little bit of exposure to the thing you fear every now and again will give you strength. Remember, it's going to be uncomfortable, but you can do it. Okay, so now you're setting up the path. So we've got the CV, which you looked at. We're changing the variables on the CV, setting myself up for that job. It's the preparation. I'm changing the resistance. And the more we do that, the more we look at ourselves and we say, okay, I need to get on the path that is correct, the more likely it is for us to get that job. Okay. Then we get the job. Then we have, or we're about to get the job. Then we have all the naysayers around us. They're going to be there. If you're trying to change your life, understand and understand it well, there are going to be a group of people who are going to tell you you can't. And they're usually going to be the ones you love, respect, or your colleagues and your friends, people you least expect. Don't put them down. Doesn't mean they're all just bad people. It's because they too are struggling with their own insecurities. So, what do? We have to focus on ourselves, our own self-talk. That is important. What do we tell ourselves is important. Okay, this sounds like a lot of anxiety. I understand, but it's not. We do it slowly, right? So now we set ourselves up for the path of least resistance. Now we've got everything we need. We've got the positive self-talk. We've dealt with our self-beliefs. We've dealt with the illusions that we've created for ourselves. And guess what happens? We get the job. That is the law of attraction in motion. That's how it works. You've got to put in the effort. And that's what it means to put in the effort, taking action. The other thing is, it's best to focus on who you are. What is your personality? You want to set it up as easy as possible in the beginning. Who are you? What is your personality? How about that free coffee? Okay, here's another one. Good to think of. Excuse me. Good to think of, right? Let's say you want a free coffee and you decide, I'm going to think of this. I'm going to visualize that cup of coffee. Visualization is a very powerful tool for the brain. It's important. I'll explain to you why that's important in a moment. Let's visualize the coffee. So you're visualizing that coffee, right? You say, I'm going to get that coffee. That is my coffee, my free coffee that I didn't have to pay for. But then we don't drive near a place that gives out coffee, near a coffee shop. We don't even walk near, and the better one is to walk close by to it because the chances of it happening is now higher. So you've got to do calculations. What is the likelihood? How can I increase my likelihood of it happening? You hang around the coffee shop. You go there often. Make sure they know your face. Make sure they know who you are. And then you get your free coffee. Because you visualize it. You put yourself in the best position. You were kind. You were nice. You treated people with respect. You didn't demand it. You didn't feel like it was something the world owed you. You see, there's a lot of things that go into these variables. It's not just about thinking and getting. There's a lot to go with it. If you mix it with good thoughts, good works, good beliefs, it will happen. The likelihood is higher. So the path of least resistance is basically making the likelihood of that happening higher. You know, hanging around the coffee shop, you are now more likely. You are already making it the least resistance. Being kind to people, you're making it more possible. The more you do these things that set you up for the thing you want, the higher the likelihood. Let's go bigger. Let's say you want that new car, but you know in your current state you cannot have it. You know it, but you want it. So you don't tell yourself, oh, I'm never going to get there. No, you look at your situation. What are the variables? What do I have in the life that is concrete? My job currently is concrete but doesn't pay me a lot. What else is concrete? What is internally concrete? Me. I am the single variable that is concrete in everything, my whole life. Okay, what do I need to do? Build myself up positively. Create a positive mind. Create a better space. Create a place of belief in myself. You should not be looking for that elsewhere. You should not be looking for it from your partner, from the people in your house, from social media, from external variables. Why? Because if the external variable is having a bad day, guess what? You're going to experience it too. And a silly little comment on social media will bring you all the way down to square one. So you want to prevent that. Best way to prevent that, build yourself up. Rely on yourself for your uplifting. Ignore the negative. Understand most of the time they're dealing with their own things. Don't take it personally. Sometimes they can say something for growth, and you take it when it's needed. When you can see that what they're saying is valid, then sure, but don't take it personally. Many times when people are dealing with their own struggles, they don't know how to deal with their emotions, they don't know how to deal with things, they take it out on the people that are closest. That's all. It's not an excuse. It's not a way to accept what they're doing or what they're saying to you. You should never accept being brought down. It's a terrible thing. But you can take it with a pinch of salt. You can choose to believe or not. And this is where psychologists, life coaches, counselors, and therapists come in. Because a good counselor, a good psychologist, a good life coach will teach you how to build yourself up, will teach you how to do it for yourself. Not tell you, teach you. You take what people say and you make it yours. Okay, so we're going to talk about the mind now. So now we know path of least resistance. We know about the law of attraction. Path of least resistance, setting that up. Okay, part of the path of least resistance is to set the mind right. How do we do that? Okay, you need to go to a counselor. There's no easy way about it. A counselor, life coach, therapist, psychologist, whoever. You've got to go there. Why? Why do I need to go there? I can do this myself. No, you cannot. You cannot do that yourself. Why? Because you are living in your own echo chamber. You have fed your mind years and years and years of whatever you believed. Each thing has become stronger and stronger. This is not a bad thing. But if you believed something that is bad, that is damaging, and no matter how you try and change your thinking, you can't change it because you're in that echo chamber. You need an external professional to help you reassess your belief, to help you wake up and see and open your mind to other things, to other things that could be true that you have been blindsided by. It is true, we all have mental blind spots, which is why psychologists and therapists and life coaches exist. They help you see the blind spots. Okay, it's all about breaking free. And if you're in a bad situation or a bad way of thinking, the chances are you do have a blind spot. The chances are you do might have some beliefs that are holding you back and you can't find them. Because if you could find them, you would have found them by now. You would have dealt with it. Okay, so step one. If you find yourself wanting to grow but struggling to do it, feeling like it's not working, feeling like you can't change intrinsically, you need to see a professional. Okay, that is important. 101. Sort the mind out first so you can be strong enough to sort the rest. You're not going to be able to do it without a professional. You think you are, and everyone around you says that they have, but they haven't. The chances are, if they did not see someone, they've still got stuff to work on. A professional will know exactly the right questions to ask, exactly the right ways to dig deep and get those things out of your mind. The faster you do it, the younger you do it, the better your life will be, the higher mountains you can climb. Okay. Okay, so we've got that. Sort the mind out first. Okay. After the mind has been sorted out, now you can start reaching and climbing because now you're not reliant on the people around you for strength. You've been taught how to do it yourself. That's the key. You've been taught how to create your own life. Okay. Why does the law of attraction or positive thinking and all of this work for some? Why is it a mental thing? Why? This is why. Your brain is your brain, is who you are. Okay. We build our beliefs from our whole lifetime. They can change, they can adapt. This is how it goes. If you have a positive brain, okay, you have to learn how to protect that. You got to learn how to protect your positivity because all it will take is one charismatic narcissist or charismatic cluster B to come into your life, fool you, and manipulate you into believing your whole life was wrong. Once you get there, you have to know how to build yourself up. So it's easier to learn how to protect that and learn how to spot when someone is um, manipulating you, forcing their ideas onto you, because you are unique. You have made your whole life unique. You don't want someone to come and tell you how wrong you are, how their life's better than yours. Once you start comparing yourself to a narcissist or cluster B, you will fail because they will always be better than you in their heads, and they'll always stand there and tell you just how not great you are. So let's not go there because that's another ball game. If you are reliant on yourself, nothing can stop you. If you are taught how to be realistic with yourself as well. So it's not about being wishful, not about believing you're better than you are. It's about how to be realistic, how to reflect and know when you are not good enough and knowing what to do about it. Okay? We are all growing. It's not that you're not good enough. It's just that you haven't learned a certain skill. You see now, it's a difference in the way of thought. Okay. So why is this important? The brain switches on certain things when you believe in something. Example, if you believe the world is a bad place, so it's confirmation bias, right? That's what we're looking for. That's what we're talking about, confirmation bias. If you believe the world is a bad place, you are going to have a mind that will only see the bad in the world. Why? Because your mind wants to confirm what you believe. So you're going to walk around and you're going to see all the bad things in the world. And they're going to be real. It's going to be legit, 100% legit. It's not going to be made up. It's going to be there. real. You'll start seeing all the evil things happening around you, and it will confirm your bias, and it will be difficult to change that belief. If you are an optimist or someone who believes in the positivity of the world, you will only see the good in the world. So you will have confirmation bias only for the positive. You'll walk around, you'll walk on the clouds, and you will only see happiness and sunshines and daisies. And your mind will naturally be blinded to seeing negativity around you. Both are extremes. You want to be in the middle. You want to be realistic because there are times when not everyone is good people, and you need to be able to acknowledge that. You cannot justify bad behavior. That's a danger. But you can choose to trust or forgive someone and give them another chance. Now, if you are too far on the negative side, you won't do that. You will give up completely. And if you're too far on the positive side, you won't see the bad in everyone and you will continue to get hurt over and over and over and over. So you've got to find the balance. Um, Also in the world, if you're too far on the one side and not too far on the other side, you will experience a very strange life. But the best is a sweet spot, a realistic spot. Not too realistic, because if we're too realistic, we start to go to the pessimist side. So there's a balance here. And how do we figure it out? With a counselor, a therapist, a psychologist. What we're feeding our brains. You feel you're being too negative? Change the variable. Watch more positive things. You feel you're being too positive? Inject a little bit of realism. Although, there's a problem with that too. And this is why psychology, life coaching, and all these jobs exist, because it's a difficult thing. It's complex. No two minds think the same. It's a complex thing. It's a balance. And every balance is going to be different for each individual. There is no such thing as one size fits all, because we cannot have all the variables. Okay. Each person is unique. One person winks when they lie. Another person winks when they're happy. How do you tell the difference? Right? We don't know. We got to look at each individual as an individual. You got to look at yourself as an individual. We got to look at people as an individual in their own little worlds. Okay, so let's say you have a confirmation bias that nothing ever goes right for you. Guess what? Because you have a confirmation bias, you are not going to see when things go right for you. You're only going to see when things go bad for you. So what do you have to do? You have to speak to professionals so you can figure out where this is happening. And they will help you see that it is a confirmation bias, that it's not true, and they'll be able to show you the truth about your life. Things that you have been blinded by. You cannot do this on your own. You need a professional. Okay, so now we've got the mind right. Now we know how to build ourselves up. We know how to make things better. We understand who we are. Now we can set our dreams and go for it. Okay? What happens when we start to become bored of the thing we've chosen? It doesn't mean that you're not going the right way. You're doing the right thing. It just means you gotta take it up a notch. If it becomes too stagnant in your dream or taking too long, it doesn't mean you gotta give up. That's the time that's saying, okay, next level, next level. Fine, I'm bored with this. Next level. Unless you're doing anything, look, there's a caveat here. Don't do anything that is going to harm anyone else or yourself. That's a no-no. No-no. Why? Because you will suffer for it later. Okay. This is why we can't do everything. We got to think logically. Okay. If someone is treating you with disrespect, go away from the person. Easy as pie. Not easy. Easy to say, hard to do, right? But it is the only action to get rid of that disrespect. Because if you allow someone else to disrespect you, you then lower your own value for yourself, and it becomes easier for you to disrespect yourself. So don't let that happen. If they make a mistake, that's a different story. mistakes happen. If they continue to make the same mistake over and over and over, there's no growth. That's a sign of a bad thing. That's a red flag. They're not growing. They're not learning. They're not respecting you. It's never going to change. There's nothing you can do about it. You cannot force someone to change. It's an intrinsic thing. Which we go to the next thing about this variable thing. Sometimes we see our friends and our family or whoever succeed, someone on TV, famous person, and we think, well, I'm going to do exactly what they did. But there's variables. We didn't look at their personality. We didn't consider that, hang on, this is their passion. Hang on, they naturally inclined to do this. Hang on, this, that, the next thing. And we fail to see all the variables. So what we can do, the only way to make it work, is to take what other people say or take their formula with a pinch of salt and create our own formula. Intrinsically, your formula. It's not going to look like other people, but the success is going to be rooted in who you are, in using who you are and making it happen realistically. So the law of attraction does work, but it's not because it's some special magic thing. It's because how the world works. You got to set yourself up for success, and there's many, many variables that it takes. Many things, the mind, the body, everything needs to work together. The effort is important. Not giving up is important. Believing you can is important. These are the things that will set you up for the path of least resistance and success. So, take what I say and make it yours. Find the solution that works for you. This is stuff that is rooted in who we are. If we look at all the people that have succeeded, their formulas followed the same foundation. It's not exactly the same things, but the foundation is the same. They sorted their minds out first. They put in the actions. They set up the path of least resistance that worked for them. Your path is not going to be exactly the same, but the formula will be the same. It's whatever works for you as an individual. So don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on the things you want. Keep going. Keep trying. It's uncomfortable sometimes, but you can do it because it's not unbearable. Growth is uncomfortable. That is a reality. Not unbearable, just uncomfortable. So go forth, reprogram your mind, make things better. You can do it. There is no excuse in the world. Don't say things like you're too poor, you're too this, you're too that. There are solutions for everything. You've just got to believe it. That is the key. Believe it. Believe in yourself. Believe in that type of magic. If anything, that's the magic. Believe. Go watch Ted Lasso. Brilliant. Believe. Okay. I'm going to stop now. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. I cannot promise that I'm going to be very, what's the word? On schedule, I think. I just make videos as I feel inspired to do so. This is something that has been on my mind. I've been doing a lot of reading and research on this, and this is what I have found. So I'm sharing it with you. Believe in yourself. Keep going. Block out the naysayers. Put positive stuff there and believe it. Believe in yourself. Make it yours. Okay, like and subscribe, please. Bye.